Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on the webinar today. My name is Trevor Nicholson from Care Funding. And on behalf of the Care Funding team, we're extremely excited to launch this awareness contest in an effort to show our appreciation for all of the years of support from the Meridian Network. Let's get started. Care Funding provides the opportunity to help a senior use their life insurance policy to help them fund their care at your community. The problem that seniors are facing today is that they want and need the services that all of your communities provide, but occasionally they do not have the financial resources to afford the cost. And this is where we can help. Our goal as a partner is to help you help them fund their care at your property by using their life insurance policy. When we talk about life insurance, we talk about an enormous amount of money. Right now in the United States, there is $500 billion in life insurance that senior citizens own. In fact, there is more in-force life insurance in our country than there is home equity. Unfortunately, most of that $500 billion will either be lapsed or surrendered back to the insurance company for little to no value. As the screen illustrates, close to 90% of policies will eventually be lapsed or surrendered. Some of that is term life insurance, but a significant amount comes from seniors who lapse or surrender their policies in the last 3 to 5 years of their life when they need that money the most to pay for care at your property. But seniors and their families have very limited options to access the value in a life insurance policy when they do not need it or cannot afford it. Let's take a look at the Medicaid statistic in the middle of the screen. 38% of seniors who went on Medicaid chose to liquidate their policy to qualify. Imagine if they knew that they had the option to use their policy. It could have helped them afford private pay while also getting some value out of that life insurance policy. Let's be clear. Letting a life insurance policy lapse is like throwing it away. When a senior lapses their life insurance, the insurance company keeps all the premium payments and is no longer responsible for paying out a death benefit. And if the policy has any cash value, many do not, by the way. Seniors can surrender the policy back to the life insurance company, but usually for less than 10% of the policy face value. Fortunately, there's a better solution. Seniors and their families can access the value in their current life insurance policy to pay for care at your community by converting the policy into a long-term care benefit plan that funds your property directly on a month-to-month basis. Care Funding's long-term care benefit plan will pay for virtually every type of care. Therefore, if a prospect needs to move into the community and they are currently using Care Funding, they can move the benefit with them to assist them in funding care. How is this all possible? What most people don't realize is that they own their life insurance policy. Many people think the life insurance company owns the policy, but nothing could be further from the truth. In 1911, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote the majority opinion in the landmark Supreme Court case establishing that a life insurance policy is personal property just like a home or stock. Bottom line is that seniors own their life insurance policy and they have the right to use it to fund care at your community. I often get asked the question, why would I use my life insurance policy to pay for my care? To answer that, you have to ask, why did I buy my life insurance policy in the first place? Most people buy life insurance to protect family against a catastrophic event. That family is usually the children. But circumstances change over time, and so do insurance needs. If you need money for care, you have to ask the question, do I still need my life insurance policy? For instance, are the children adults and financially independent? I can only hope that when my 2 little girls are grown up, they're not sitting around waiting for me to pass away to collect their money on my life insurance policy. I would hope their interest would be to help their father find the best financial resources to help me afford the care that I want, need, and deserve. And certainly, my obligation to keep that life insurance policy in force will have changed. So how does our program work? Once the policy is converted into a benefit plan based on the present day value, the funds are deposited into an FDIC-insured irrevocable account under the senior's name in a national chartered bank designed to fund your community. Automatic payments are made out of this account to your community on a month-to-month basis. The payment can also be adjusted to help with any change in care needs. We also preserve a minimum of $5,000 or 5% of the policy conversion for a beneficiary of the family's choosing. Also, our program was built to comply with all state life insurance and settlement regulations. And if the senior passed away before the entire benefit is spent, any remaining balance would go to the designated beneficiary of the family's choosing. I want to preface this next slide with, you do not have to pre-qualify candidates for our program. In fact, if you are having conversations with seniors and their families where they think they or their loved one has a policy, but they are not sure of the specifics about the policy type and size, please offer to connect them with LifeCare Funding, and we'd be happy to help the family find out that information. So you are aware, almost any type of life insurance policy is eligible for conversion into a long-term care benefit account, including term, life, universal life, whole life, and even group and government life policies. The life insurance policy needs to have a death benefit of at least $50,000 or greater to be eligible for conversion into a benefit plan. And as I mentioned earlier, the benefit funds all types of senior care. Let's now look at an example within the Meridian network. Here's how this first case occurred at Fullerton Gardens. A family toured the property in the hope of moving their father in. And when they sat down with the sales team to discuss cost, they realized they did not have the financial means to afford their father's care at the property. That's when the sales team asked a series of questions. The first question was, is your father a veteran? And their second question was, does your father own a life insurance policy? This team makes it part of their protocol to ask every prospect and current resident those questions. Sure enough, Dad did have a life insurance policy. In fact, they were thinking of lapsing the policy for no money because they saw no relevance in keeping the policy in force. It was term life insurance with no cash value. And what the sales team did was suggest to the family that before they do anything with that policy, they should consult with Meridian's partner, LifeCare Funding. Sure enough, the family connected with LifeCare Funding, and we were able to offer them a little over $93,000 or 62% of the death benefit of the policy to help afford their father's care. This money was put into an account under Dad's name that funded the community on a month-to-month basis. Before I continue, one important point that you have to understand is that we all know that $93,000 is certainly a lot of money to help a family out. But this is money that the family did not know they had the option to receive. And that's how every success story goes. People aren't going to be walking into the community asking if they can convert their life insurance policy because they don't know the option even exists. Therefore, I can promise you that when you help a family out with this, they are absolutely ecstatic because, again, they didn't know that using a life insurance policy to fund their or their loved one's senior care was a choice. To couple that statement, I also want you to know that it's hard to find seniors with policies above $50,000 or more. But I highly recommend that you keep asking the question, creating that awareness, because when you find the appropriate candidate who could benefit from using LifeCare Funding, you can help them out dramatically, just like the case illustrated on the screen. So why offer LifeCare Funding's benefit plan? Because it's a win-win for every party involved. The prospective or current resident gets the opportunity to tap into an asset to help them fund their care at your property. There are no premiums to pay. LifeCare Funding takes on this financial burden from the policy owner, and we become the beneficiaries responsible for paying the premiums. Absolutely no fees charged to any senior who uses our program, and if a current resident is using LifeCare Funding and they passed away before the benefit account was used, any remainder would go to the beneficiary of the family's choosing. Lastly, this transaction is also tax-free in most cases. And here's what you get: another financial resource to help increase your occupancy as well as revenue. This is a great resource for prospects inquiring to learn more about moving in. Think of all the families who you've met with in the last 6 months who might own a life insurance policy. It couldn't hurt to go back and ask. And please don't neglect those current residents about this financial solution who are spending down or might even owe an outstanding balance. This is an excellent private pay source of funds, and there are, of course, no fees charged to the community to use our program. So how do you create awareness about LifeCare Funding's program? Keep it simple and let us do the work. You do have to create that awareness, but rest assured, we're going to be there to help you do that every step of the way. If you need some brochures, please let us know. We'd be glad to mail you out a package at no cost. If you would like to schedule a call with us to learn more about how our program can benefit your prospective and current residents, or if you have a family who's curious to learn more about this financial solution, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're always a phone call or an email away. Also, take advantage of our website. It's chock full of material pertaining to LifeCare Funding, from animated training videos to testimonial videos of families who benefited from using LifeCare Funding, press, an active blog, you name it, it's there. And we also offer bi-weekly training webinars if you ever want to jump on one of those to get a refresher. Lastly, but most importantly, use me as a resource. You can always contact me directly anytime with anything and everything that you need from LifeCare Funding. It's also comforting for a family to associate a name with a company versus calling an 888 number, and I'm always standing by to help. How do you present LifeCare Funding? Keep it simple and make sure to ask that question, do you have a life insurance policy? And you can ask it such as, you may be able to use a life insurance policy to pay for a stay at our community by converting the policy into a long-term care benefit plan. Or we work with LifeCare Funding, who helps seniors and their families pay for senior care by using a life insurance policy. Or I'm leaving you with some information on LifeCare Funding, and I will have Trevor Nicholson reach out to you to explain this important funding option. There is no cost or obligation to learn more. And I get it, everyone. Our program can sound a bit complicated, so let us do the work. That's where you are going to see success. It's as simple as asking the question, offering to connect with LifeCare Funding, and concluding every conversation with further education via a brochure or access to our website, or both. Our financial solution can dramatically help a family afford the care that they need at your community. And we want to make sure that every senior that you are working with has every financial resource available, because a well-informed senior is a less vulnerable senior. And with that, I want to thank you all for the support, and I look forward to our continued partnership.